Hi everyone, my name is Raiden Johnson. This is a program that I wrote in Python that allows me to use some SQL to edit a database. Let's jump right in. I've got a lot of code here, so I won't show everything and get into depth, but I can show you at least the basics and then show you how it runs. Over here, you'll see that I have two separate files. This one is just the test, so you can forget about that. This file here is the actual program that we're running in, and this is the database file that it created once you run it. So up here, I imported SQLite that allowed me to use the actual SQL commands and connect to it and do all of that. So let's dive right in. This makes sure that the table and database are created, if not already present. We'll jump down here. Okay, so here we have multiple different functions within this. This is a expense tracker database. It allows you to input, delete, edit, update, so forth, any expenses that you might have, and just track them for you. So of course, some of the functions are add a new expense. You can view your expenses. You can update your expenses. You can delete your expenses, and you can get a view summary of everything. I kind of blew by those pretty fast, so I can take a look into some of these. These are pretty basic. It just calls a couple of variables, prints out some of the data from it and asks you questions in form of input, and then takes that and saves that. These print the table for you, so it'll show you, it'll reference everything from the database itself and bring it back. As you can see here, it's selecting everything from expenses in that table, and it brings it back here and shows you that table in front of you in your terminal. Let's go down here. So updating an expense, this one's a little bit more in depth. You can pick the ID of the expense that you want to update. And it does that from here, right? Once you put that in, it will show you. If it doesn't find it, then it will tell you that. And then down here, you can change everything, or you can change one thing and leave everything else blank, and then it'll save it as whatever it was previously. And then this is kind of the SQL behind the scenes of the Python. So this is saying update the expenses, set the date, category, amount, description as what we put them. And then the where ID is just making sure that our ID matches what we were picking. So that's kind of a basic summary. Like I said, I won't go crazy in depth. The other fun one was the aggregates here. I wanted to do a sum and a count. And so I'll explain that real fast, and then I'll show you how it works. So it jumps into the categories, it selects them, counts all of the ones in those specific categories, and then gives you the total from that category. It's kind of a lot of words, so here, let me show you how it runs. We'll run it up here. All right, welcome to SQL Spender Tracker. So I've already been playing around in this. So this database already has some data in it. So I'm going to view it. You can see everything that you can do right here, but I will view it just so that we can see what we're already working with. So I'll hit 2. So see, these are some of the ones that I've played around with. I've played around making the different date formats, I've played around with the categories, making sure the amounts add up when you actually view the summary, and just change the descriptions. So, for example, let's add a new expense. The date, let's make it, we can do year, month, day. I've been doing month, day, year, so we'll make it November 1st of 2025. Enter the category, we'll say let's say school. Into their amount, let's say school costs $1,500. The description is, let's see here. We'll say fall semester. Okay, and then expense added successfully. And then we'll view our expenses again. And you can see that I added it right there on the bottom. And let's do another one in school. So I'll add another expense. We'll enter the day. We'll make it the same day. And we'll say it's school. Our amount, let's say, is $500. The description is books. Okay, so let's view our expenses again. You can see that that one added. Awesome. Let's do the summary and see how that works. So the summary takes the total of all the categories that we have, counts them, and then totals the numbers together. So you can see from up here, we've got 3 separate categories: school, fuel, and rent. And then it takes those amounts and adds them up, and then tells you how many there are. So in here you can see that we have fuel, rent, and school, and it totals up the price. So for example, school we just said was $1,500 plus $500 for books, and it added those up for me. So, and then if we want to delete one, we can test that real fast. And we can delete, let's do number 7, we'll delete school. And then let's double check that it's not there and view the expense. And we can see that number 7 is now gone. All right, that is my program. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but it was a lot of fun to be able to work in Python and still use the same commands and functions of SQL in VS Code. I'd never done that before, and so that was a really fun learning experience for me to try something new and be able to learn it and succeed. Thank you for your time. I hope that you guys have fun with this.